Right, we've been trying to record this podcast with our camera and we've realised that it's been dropping out. So, when you watch this video on YouTube, the video will be intermittent. It'll come in and out. So sometimes you'll be able to see us, sometimes you won't. But we're going to work on it for next time. We'll get it nailed, we'll get it sorted. So sorry if that's annoying, but next time we'll get it consistent. Thank you. Right, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of the podcast, Business Life from Food Circle. I'm James.
I'm Paul.
And
today's... You didn't actually, in the last two episodes, notice when I listened back, you never mentioned the word business life. But you did just then.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, should brand ourselves better, shouldn't we?
Get the brand out there.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the Business Life podcast, if you weren't aware already. Hopefully the audio quality and everything like that will be better on this, and the visual quality as well, because we've got a new setup.
This is... we can actually... we're doing things properly now, haven't we? We've learned, and this is what this business is all about, is testing and learning.
Yeah.
Listen back to the last one. I was mumbling. It was the most appalling piece of sound I've ever heard. It's my fault. Just
slumped in your chair.
Slumped in my chair, mumbling, just monotone. So I'm going to try and improve my diction, but I'll see how long that lasts. But we've just got a better setup. We're using two different really good microphones. I can actually hear myself through the microphone now, whereas before it was just guesswork.
Yep.
You might be able to hear some background noise. That's our warehouse. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll pick it up. But anyway.
I just heard it.
So, okay, right. Maybe you can then. But production value hopefully should be a lot better. So it should be a better experience to listen to this time. And to watch on YouTube as well. If you are watching, I'm just waving to the camera now because we are recording with our proper Canon camera instead of just doing it on Zoom. Lazy folk.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll maybe get some stuff done on the wall. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to address something to do with that,
Please
actually,
do.
because somebody asked us on Instagram. I can't remember the name, so I apologise. They asked us what is in the background here on our last podcast. So if you're listening to this is a terrible piece of audio. You probably want to fast forward just 30 seconds or a minute. But basically, if you are watching, the picture on the left is a collage that was given to us by a friend and former colleague, Jenny, and also a customer.
Oh yeah, really good customer as well.
Who put together a collage of us pictures of when we started our business, basically, to document our the early part of our journey. So that's what that is on the left, with various different pictures on it. And then on the right, on the other side of the window, we've got Gary Vaynerchuk, the one and only, and with his phrase "One Life," which we're big believers in. And that was also from Jenny as well. So
Hallam Enterprise
thank
Award.
you, Jenny. 2 shout-outs in one go.
Yeah.
And then above that, the Hallam Enterprise Award for the Sheffield Hallam University business competition that we won in 2018. So,
good times.
Good
$5
times.
grand we got for that.
We did. $5,000 prize money, didn't
And
we?
now they give out, what is it, 200 quid to everybody?
Something like that, yeah.
Come on.
We got in at a good time there, didn't we? We spent that $5,000 on Grenade carb killer spreads, didn't we?
That was really helpful for us.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. $5,000, but Sheffield Hallam, if you're listening, we love you, but this thing, everyone gets a prize now. If they don't all get a prize. It's not good. It's not good for anybody, that.
Yeah, well, we had that motivation to win it, didn't we? Because it made a big difference to our business and bought us some great stock, which, in our early days, spending $4, $5, $6 on a parcel of stock was a massive deal because we didn't have as many sales as we've got now. That'd be a lot bigger of a drain on us as a business. So that really helped us to get some really good stock in that we could sell and, continue our progression. So... that's what's up there. A really good prize to win. So let's get on to the topic of today's episode. Before I do that, I will just let you know that towards the end of the podcast, we will be doing the draw for the Mountain Joe's giveaway. We've got...
What's that noise, James?
That noise is the sound of everybody's names and handles that have been entered in a box.
Over 100 entries.
Yep. Lots of entries in there. So we've written everyone's name on a little slip and we've put it into the box. And we'll be just drawing one out at random later on. So if you've entered that, thank you for listening to the last podcast. Thank you for answering the question. Yeah. And good luck.
And welcome to the podcast if it's your first time. We had a lot of new-time listeners.
New-time listeners, yeah. Welcome if it's your first time. There are here, that noise, if you're listening. If you're watching on camera, you can see, is the prize. So it's 5 cases of Mountain Joe's. We've picked these out. So there's 2 boxes of protein cakes, birthday cake and carrot cake.
You're a fan of them carrot cakes as well, aren't you?
I am. They're my favourite ones.
So you'd snap them one of them, really.
If anybody from Mountain Joe's, if Ben's listening, carrot cakes are unreal, as you already know, because I've told you my thoughts on them. We've got the protein granola, which is like a fruity one, which is 100% vegan as well. Yeah. We've got the peanut butter, chocolate peanut butter protein brownie, and the white chocolate blondie as well. So
yeah,
good prize that, I think.
Really good prize.
We want to give a shout out to Mountain Joe's as well and spread the word about them because fantastic brand. The founder Ben's a great guy, doing a really good job, innovating with new products all the time as well. So and they've been really popular sellers for us as well, haven't they?
It's one of them brands where I was working in the industry. There's a lot of new brands that have been founded in the past year or so. Lots of brands we've come across. Honestly, countless amounts of different types of brands in the health, nutrition category. Mountain Joe's is one of them where it's a standout to me. Yeah. I'm honestly not just saying this. Ben's not sent me a check to say this. It's class. It's proper good product. Look at the branding. The branding stands out. It's brilliant, and the product's good to match. And that's what you need. And you need good branding and an actually good product. Without one of those, it won't work. Yeah. So to me, they're the 2 most important things if you're starting a brand. Really good branding, image, all that sort of stuff. And it has to be good, taste good, look the part. And that's what they are. And
good nutrition as well.
This podcast was sponsored by Mountain Joe's.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we're not actually sponsored to say this, but it sort of is because Mountain Joe's have put this stock forward for us to give away.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
Big shout out to Mountain Joe's. And good luck to everyone that's entered. So we will be doing that towards the end.
Can I give the box another shake?
Give the box another shake. Right, good. Now you've got that out of your system.
Mark Chapman to present.
Yeah. So now you've got that out of your system, let's move on to the topic of today's podcast, which we put out on social media. Would you like to introduce it, Paul?
Absolutely. So I put out on social media earlier today on our story for you, our listeners and our customers and our followers to vote for which topic we talk about. One was being yourself, because we touched on that last week, and I thought we could delve deeper into that. So, excuse me. And the other one was social media.
Yep.
I think there's a bit of crossover there, but being yourself won by 77% to 23%.
Okay.
Which I was surprised with, to be honest. I thought social media would romp that.
So
that's done. We're doing it.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do social media another time because there are people out there that do want us to talk about it.
I'm just going to take a snap to tell people we've picked being yourself. Sorry, I'm just taking taking a picture.
There's me being myself. So, being yourself then. This is a pretty good topic, I think, for us to talk about in business because I think when you start a business, you have to put yourself into it. You have to put your personality into it. And it's important to be authentic because I think people can see right through it if you're not.
Yeah.
And what's also important if you get further down the line like we are, where you've got a team and everything, being yourself around other people as well and around people that you're leading and that you're working with is important as well. So I'd like you to sort of kick us off here because you're somebody who's, I think, is very authentic, somebody that's good at being yourself and not really caring about the criticism or rubbing people up the wrong way by being yourself. So go on, let's have your thoughts.
I tell you what, being yourself, I wasn't. Remember when we worked at a company shop and people used to call me Business Paul?
Yeah.
That was where. So you can definitely hear our warehouse. So we sat close to the window to the warehouse, so you can hear all sorts. I don't know how it's going to come across on podcast, but it's it shows the stuff going on.
It's authentic. We're being ourselves. This is where we work.
I tell you what, exactly. I tell you what it reminds me of. Have you ever listened to the radio and they're doing an outside broadcast? talk sport or be in a pub or something, or on Wembley Way or something. So it's a bit like this in outside broadcasting.
It adds some flavour to it, because if they're in a pub, you can hear glasses clinking and people chattering and stuff.
Hopefully there's no foul-mouthed stuff coming from our Scottish delivery
parcel collecting
driver.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, being yourself. I wasn't myself when we first started in our career in surplus food. In client meetings and stuff. I would be in the office with our mates and stuff, but then as soon as I'd go into a meeting with a supplier or a brand, I'd put on this this what is it, like a
persona.
professional thing. I said, right, I can't be myself now because I've got this stupid Sheffield accent, whatever. I'm gonna be more professional. And then it's hard work to not be yourself. Not being yourself and putting on an act is exhausting.
Yeah,
and it's tiring. And after meetings, I'll be like, oh god. Whereas if it's so much easier to be yourself. And also, I found that once I started being myself, a bit like work performance back then didn't differ. In fact, it probably gets a bit better.
Yeah,
because then you just, you're more relatable,
more relaxed.
More relaxed, absolutely. Yeah. And definitely since the start of this business, every year I always think I'm going to go be more myself, just go all in on yourself. When I decided to do that when we started the business, it's so much easier. And especially, and you talked about employing people, managing people, it means you're a more consistent leader as well. There's nothing worse. People will, maybe it's not all about being yourself, but people would have had bosses where you don't know what mood you're going to catch them in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's good in management. I think you need to be consistent in your character, and the best way to do that is by being yourself. And obviously, I don't know what it is. Leaving some things at the door when you walk in is obviously one thing. Because we've all worked for managers that do that sometimes, don't they?
Yeah. I think. It's important to. I guess my take on it is kind of if you're not being yourself, if you're like putting something on, like you say, it comes back to that consistency where, in certain situations, if you respond differently on Tuesday than you do on Wednesday, I think this is what you're getting at, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just leaves people in a complete state of, people around you are in a state of well, where do I stand with this person?
Absolutely.
Whereas if you are faced with the same situation and you confront it in a consistent way, people at least know where they are, and I suppose that makes you easier to be around.
Yeah.
And more. I don't actually know whether it. I'm just thinking about it now. I don't know whether it fits in with being yourself or whether it's almost like the flip side of it, a bit of an act. But
it's tricky, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Because if we're being honest, people aren't always the same from day to day, are they? Moods differ and stuff like that. But I do know what you're getting at in terms of if you boil it down to your authentic response and there's nothing getting in the way of that on a particular day, then it should be the same and consistent. If you know my values are to approach this situation like X, then you know that every time that situation comes up, you're going to approach it like X and not sometimes X and sometimes Y.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I believe in being all in with doing business as well. So if someone out there that's going to be doing deals, so we are in our business, we do a lot of deals in quotation marks. There's negotiations really important, and in that you have to be upfront. You have to know when to say no. You have to. I think honesty is the best policy when it comes to that. And again, I hate this. What's the thing where you should be able to, if you're a salesman, you should be able to sell anything. You should not take no for an answer sometime. And when you get really bad forced sales tactics, I hate that. I really hate that.
Well, this is the thing as well. It's all transparent, and you can see through it. Everybody knows what to look for.
It's painful.
So it's almost a breath of fresh air when you get the more authentic experience from somebody that's in sales. And also, sales gets missold as kind of trying to sell something to people, like you said, trying to convince them that they need something. whereas actually it's more to do with talking through people's needs.
Finding who needs it.
Yeah, talking through people's needs and meeting those needs, and if you can't meet those needs, being honest about it. Because if you try and sell something to anyone who doesn't need that thing or doesn't want it, or you know, they feel pressured into it, it's only going to create resentment and bad reputation, and further down the line they're not going to come back.
Absolutely.
And they're also going to feel like tainted by that experience.
Slag you off.
Yeah,
I do it with Specsavers happily. I had a shocking experience at Specsavers a couple of years ago when they were trying to force me that bloody contact lens deal. I went for an eye checkup routine because I have contact lenses that I buy on the internet, and they were like, I'm obviously not going to say. I'm not going to say where it was, but they were like, if you do our contact lens deal, we send you a pack every month, and it's cheap. I said, look, just dead up front. Look, I buy them off the internet. I get loads for £30, like 3 months worth. And she was like, oh, where do you get them from? I told her, and it was like, oh yeah, but we can do. I said, look, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I literally had to say that to her. So I'm not interested. I'm sorry, like politely. It's not for me. And she just wouldn't give it up. It was really. I thought, this is shocking. Who's told you to do this?
That can be difficult though, because a lot of people, myself included, would feel not obliged, but very much like pressured into doing something and signing up to it.
That's what they want.
I know, but it's about boundary setting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's having that mindset, which I do sometimes struggle with, but I am improving on it and working on it. Of you don't owe anything to other people.
Absolutely.
Especially people who are literally there to try and get as many sales as possible, and they don't care whether they've hoodwinked you into it or whether you actually wanted to do it yourself.
Tell you who else is bad. Yeah, 100% car sales people.
Yeah. That does my head in.
They're a nightmare.
I hated that when I bought my car. That whole thing of, it's that classic thing of it. I notice you've not signed up for the gap insurance, sir. Don't you think that's a bit of a? I mean, nobody drives away and intends to have an accident.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's all well and good, but you can add on bits and pieces until you're up to your eyeballs, and you've ended up spending twice as much money as you actually wanted to.
Shocking.
If you're not careful.
Tell you who else did that with me is Enterprise Rent a Car. We're not making any friends on this podcast, are we, with any companies? But anyway.
Well, we're not friends with them anyway, are we?
Exactly. Enterprise Rent a Car. Now, when we moved here, and they got the van to take some stuff over when we moved to this new place, and they were going, do you want to take out cover? You have to pay an extra £100 to take out cover. That means your excess. If you damage the van, you have to pay £2,000, but if you pay this, you only have to pay £100 or something if you have a crash. And I was like, no, I won't. I've only got it for a day. I've driven vans before, I'll be fine. Yeah. She was like, well, it's a lot of money, £2,000. And we're talking if you just nick it or you just bump it a little bit, or there's a little bit of damage on the tyre, it's £2,000. Well, I'm not doing it. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not paying it. I know it's £100 or whatever, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm putting my foot down. And I'm squealing round roundabouts at 50 mile an hour.
I'm not going to lie, I was terrified for the next inside the bed. I was like, oh my God.
Well, it makes you extra careful, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, but that was so annoying. I don't know how we got onto that, but I hate sales tax. That is not sales to me. Sales is finding out who needs what you've got.
Yeah.
It's not, I can sell anything to anybody, me. That's not good.
Yeah. Well, that's probably, it's good that we've covered that. It's an additional topic for today, sales.
Yeah.
But it's linked.
Being yourself is very important. Like we have it, don't we, when we get comments on our ads and people go, you can buy this cheap in Home and Bargains. Good. We have got nothing. I think people think we hate Home and Bargains because they're not. They are a bit of a competitor to us, but not like, but we like them. If you want to go and shop there, please do.
We've never claimed anywhere to be the cheapest either. And
no, we haven't.
So on some things we can be, on some things we can't be. We will be damn competitive as much as we can.
Damn competitive, James.
Damn competitive. But, if you want to get in your car and go to a shopping centre and park up and pay £3 for your parking and go to Home Bargains or B&M, well, sometimes you don't have to do that, but and that's fine if that's the shopping experience that you prefer. But if you want to order it online and have it come to your door and we do the rest, then maybe you might be willing to pay, I don't know, a quid extra for a case of bars or something like that.
Home bargains is great. B&M bargains is great. And it's brilliant. It's just, please do support bricks and mortar stores as well. I know that they haven't really struggled, but some have. So if there's a bricks and mortar store, and this isn't me being, patronising. But yeah, support other shops. We're not. I think people think we hate them and oh no, please don't. And that's good sales as well, is to be like that.
I'll actually disagree with you a bit there. I don't think it is that. I think it's people assuming that we're trying to pull the wool over their eyes. Yeah, trying to convince them to buy from us, and they're saying to people, "Oh well, don't listen to these guys about being cheap. You can get it cheaper elsewhere." But it's never the point that we've ever made, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of being yourself, the reason people aren't themselves, they're worried about judgment.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I know, but you're working on that, aren't you?
Yeah, but you're like you said earlier, you've tackled this yourself.
Yeah.
How far along that line do you think? Do you think you're 100%?
Am I 100%? I won't going to say I'm 100%. I would say, oh, no, not 100%, because remember when we did, I was banging on about Dragon's Den again. If I didn't care what people...
Anybody that had Dragon's Den on their bingo card, please cross it off now.
We didn't even get aired. I was still dressed smartly for Dragon's Den, didn't I? I didn't turn up to Dragon's Den in jogging, but if I really didn't care, then I wouldn't get dressed, would I? I'd just go, whatever, just turn up. I think that's bad. I think you can go too far, in my opinion. So no, I'm not going to say I'm 100%. I just don't let other people. Oh God, I'm struggling for it. It's the end of the day. We're doing this podcast at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My words are starting to. I've used too many words today, and I'm starting to.
Have you pronunciated some of your worms?
I don't let other people's judgment shape my life and what I do.
Yeah,
it's the worst. That happens to so many people, and don't let. I've heard of people that don't want to go out for a run outside because they don't want to look tired on the road, and cars going past seeing you looking knackered and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's just.
I've never heard of that one personally, but I can relate to that in.
Someone said it to me recently, but I won't say who it was.
Yeah, I can relate to that in other scenarios, not specifically that one, but I do have other scenarios where I will feel reticent about doing something.
Yeah. Strangers. These people are strangers.
I am working on it, and I'm actually getting proper support with it and stuff. But it's frustrating, to be honest.
I bet it is,
because it's not a deliberate thing. To feel hamstrung in quite a bit of your life and what you're doing, and not to feel free is really frustrating.
But it's exhausting as well.
And I do have generally at night, and I don't know if you get this, but if you're laid awake in bed and you can't get to sleep or whatever, everything feels more possible to me. You know
more
what I mean?
Possible.
But then the cold light of day comes and you're still held back by stuff. And that's how I feel about certain things where I won't do a certain thing because of judgment, or I'll be worried about a certain situation because of judgment. I mean, perfect example, in business, there's certain things that I will struggle to do. We talked about the video ads that you do last week. Yeah. I would do that, but it would be difficult for me, especially if we got negative comments and personal feedback against me as well. And
that's normal, though.
Doing this is quite. I think what relaxes me a bit about this is that we ain't got many listeners, and if we were putting this out there and getting a wider reach, that'd get in my head a bit more. But then there's other things as well, certain I don't know how to say this, but difficult customers that will call into question our integrity and stuff like that when it's not true.
Yeah.
That really gets to me, and I struggle to deal with it.
Yeah, and maybe I think it's a confidence thing as well.
Mm.
I think people who have a lot of confidence, and yeah, there's definitely a thing of having too much confidence. We all see some people like that, but I think confidence is part. If you got a high amount of confidence and you're confident in yourself, that definitely helps. Because these people are strangers, and do you know what? Whatever. I don't want to. I'm not going to swear. I'm trying to tone my swearing down. Yes, I'm being myself, but I'm still going to try and tone my swearing down because my dad doesn't like it when he listens to it.
Well, if curse-free Gary V can be a thing, then
Yeah, but I think swear words are good sometimes.
Yeah, well, they're good for emphasis, aren't they?
They are. So fuck what people think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. Sometimes I get it, and then I just go, no, whatever. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. That.
It is, yeah. It is definitely.
Even people like you that are more authentic and are on that scale or understand that, I think.
I think you got to be able to laugh at yourself as well. If you do something, say you do a public speaking, do something stupid, you just got to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
For example, so I think people get worried about that. And we talked about it before, doing badly in school. I did terrible at school, so I was used to, getting bad reports and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to not doing well at stuff.
Yeah, giving you a thick skin.
I think so, yeah, definitely. And, just maybe, having the mickey taken out of me by mates at a young age. I sound like Jimmy Bullard now.
I think, like, I don't know, being able to laugh at yourself and stuff like that is like humility, I think. And I do feel like in certain situations I can laugh about myself, but it can go it can be too far the other way, where it becomes like not a self-fulfilling prophecy, but like for me, like a defense mechanism, that's the word, is like, if there's something I don't like about myself, if I say it before the other person can say it, then that's like protection. It's like a defense mechanism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I'm openly saying, I'm not very good at that, or I'm wearing shit clothes today or whatever, then if that's a defense mechanism, because that other person then, if they we're gonna go and say that.
No.
I've already said it, so it takes the takes the impact of it.
Well, it's just overthinking it, innit?
Yeah.
You're overthinking stuff. That's just like having your back up all the time.
Yeah.
Let's just relax. We'll try and relax, but it's easier said than done. You can't just say to someone, relax. That's actually annoying, isn't it?
Well, it's not annoying. Well, I suppose it can be. It's more like it's not. It's just like it's not as simple as that to just relax.
No,
I'm not like using this as like a whining session about my own hang-ups and stuff like that, because I do think I've improved on some of these things, and being aware of it is good, because you can work on stuff, can't you?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I think in certain ways, I'm able to be myself. It's just getting along that scale that we've talked about, where just feel a percentage more in control, more authentic, more able to set boundaries with people, more confident with whatever it might be.
Yeah. I think that's really good. It's brilliant. It's worried about judgment. It's the general anxiety, isn't it? That's what it is, really. It's an anxiety of. It's an anxiety, really, isn't it? But we all get anxieties. No one out there doesn't get anxiety. I'm confident, but I get serious anxiety, especially our business sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd openly share that. So yeah, everyone does, but just get different types of it. Whereas I think you just have a relax. You only get, like that poster. You only get one life. If you're at the end of it, and you're in a care home and you're pissing yourself every 5 minutes, are you going to be worried about? Are you going to be thinking, I didn't do that because I was worried about some strangers and what they thought? It's too late. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
make the most of it.
Yeah, I think one phrase that does kind of I do try and think of and bring to mind, and it does help me a bit, is the idea of you can never please everybody.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're being yourself, if you're not being yourself, if you're trying to be all things to all people, you can never please everybody.
Nope.
Like, this sounds like an ego thing, but there'll be people out there that don't like me. There'll be people out there that don't like you.
Yeah.
There'll be people out there that that do like us. It's the world is full of all different types of people, and we're not all made to get along, are we?
Exactly. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. I think definitely that's why I used to do business, Paul, because I'd try in meetings, I'd try and make them like me, wanted them to like me. If you try and be liked by everyone, then you're not going to be yourself, are you?
Yeah.
If you be yourself, then people won't like you. People will.
Yeah.
And if you're a nice person, you're not an absolute dick, then you'll be fine. Whereas some people are, and
yeah,
that's what it is.
Well, pull me up here if this is just my sort of anxiety talking.
Go on.
But what I'd say to people who take exception to others, if someone's doing something wrong or unlawful or immoral, then fair enough. Have a go at them. But if someone's just being themselves and not causing any harm and just trying to do their thing, stop having a go at them.
Yeah.
Stop trying to drag people down. You're not made to like everybody. Not everybody's made to be everybody's cup of tea.
Nope.
So just stop having a go at people. Stop having a go at Paul on our ads, even though he don't care.
Thanks. I haven't had one in a while, though.
Because at the end of the day, he's just a dude trying to get on with his life.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't care if they stop, though. That's the thing. They can do it. But people will do it because people lead empty lives, you know what I mean? So you'll never be able to stop that. But I know what you mean. But I think judging people is natural. I think it's human nature to judge people.
Yeah.
It's how you
channel it.
It's how you channel it. Do you know what I mean?
If you channel it through being angry and bitter and twisted and leaving fucking nasty comments on stuff, you can tell that I feel strongly about this, can't you? Sorry, Andrew.
No, it's good.
Like the swearing.
Oh, no, it's me that he doesn't want me swearing.
Oh, okay.
And he's sit close to the mic. No, yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, people. What were we talking about the other day? It was the Molly May thing. We were saying it, innit? Like, she's made some stupid common remarks, but people go too far, like completely laying into her and that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be one of these preachy, positive people who's like, oh, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it. But genuinely, like, if you just want to be like, if you just want to be snipey at people for no reason, then maybe just take a step back from your computer or whatever you're doing and just have a think about what you're saying. And if you're commenting on a business, for example, Food Circle, there's people that are working hard on it and running it, and
absolutely
they will see that and have to deal with it. So
like we do it, like in here, we'll see something. See something on Instagram or something, and I might say to you, look at this dick or whatever, or what's all this about? That's okay, because you can obviously have opinions, or you're in the pub or whatever talking about stuff, but I wouldn't comment and then send a load of abuse or whatever, because that's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think people really struggle with judgment. It stops people starting businesses. It stops people starting podcasts. It stops people doing a lot of stuff, which is a real problem.
It does,
and it's got even worse in the social media age.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Definitely.
Stops people getting out of bed in the morning.
And feedback's immediate and instant as well with social media. There's nobody standing in anybody's way of just spouting off.
Yeah.
If people had to write a letter to say that they hated our advertising or whatever, it'd probably be a lot less. Well, it's a lot more effort to do that, and it'd probably, you'd probably sit down and start writing it and think, oh, what am I doing? I'm not going to bother.
That's a good point. That
going to get a stamp. What's the point? So, so yeah, that's the perils of social media. So we've touched on social media without even meaning to there.
I was listening to 5 Live today, and they were these two. Sometimes they get two people on, one side and one the other.
Yeah, that does my head in sometimes. That.
Oh my god!
Sorry, go on.
I was driving back from driving here, and they were talking about they were going berserk about bloody Brexit. I was just like, what? How angry are you? They were honestly like livid, both like almost screaming at each other. Nicky Campbell was like, "Oh well, yeah, it's interesting," like trying to calm them down. It's just like, I don't know why people get so angry about that. They're ringing up a radio show. It's totally unrelated to what we're talking about, but there's a lot of angry people out there at the moment, and they need to channel their anger somehow.
Yeah, I think people, I don't know whether this is true historically as well, but people have a lot of mistrust, don't they, of other people, organisations, politicians, maybe rightly so. And yeah, people are looking for injustice and wrongdoing around every corner, I think.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of anger, like you say.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Good.
Anything else you'd like to mention on being yourself?
I don't think so. I think I've had a little therapy session there, so that's good.
That's good. That's why people like the podcast, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If we weren't being ourselves and being like dead polished and stuff, people are like, oh, whatever. Whereas it's two normal people who happen to run this company and we're talking normally. That's what people like. That's what people want to listen to, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think we've given our honest thoughts there, and we could have tempered some of that stuff and been more, knocked the edges off it and pretended that we're like always super confident people or whatever. Yeah. But I think we've covered our thoughts on it pretty well. Anyone
that's posting pictures on Instagram of them in Dubai wearing Moncler jackets, making out their life is brilliant. It's absolute bollocks. It's absolute shit. And that's the problem as well. It's just,
comparison.
Comparison is the thief of joy. That's what Elon Musk said, isn't it?
Yeah.
So true. You could say you can be doing, that's brilliant, because like we could have an amazing year here, and then you go on Instagram and look at someone else's business and they've done £1 billion and you're like, no, it's not been that good then. But you were happy until you saw someone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've done pretty well. I've not been away on holiday not abroad for 4 years. So, if I'm looking at people in Dubai and getting upset, then that's not a good way to go, because Dubai. I've not been anywhere.
Don't interest me, Dubai.
I don't get it.
It's plastic, innit?
I don't get it either.
Email us if you agree with us that Dubai looks overrated.
We're getting into a bit of a Gary V overrated or underrated territory there, aren't we?
Well, a bit. Are we doing questions from customers? We've not got time.
Let's. Well, we can make this as long or as short as we want. We said we were going to do 15-20 minute ones, weren't we? But
we did.
Who cares? We can do whatever we want.
Because I've got one question from our customers.
Okay, well, let's do the jingle, and then let's get into the one question that we've got from customers.
Play the jingle that I actually need to re-record because it didn't pick up a bit of the guitar sound. Play the jingle.
Why don't you re-record it now? Or can't you be bothered?
Go on then. Yeah. Questions from our customers.
Marvellous. Absolutely wonderful.
Okay. Let's just do one. We get the odd one emailed to us as well, so thanks very much, guys. I want to continue emailing us questions. hello@foodcirclesupermarket.com. This one is from Elizabeth.
I don't
know where she is. All I know is her name's Elizabeth.
Why the hell would she put a location on it?
We had a couple that did it. It's in the email signatures. They must use work.
Has Roger been in touch this week?
Roger's not been in touch this week.
Roger from Cambridge, where are you? We need another question. Anyway.
That is a concern. Elizabeth says, guys, love the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Really appreciate it. What are your top 3 albums, music albums she means, obviously, top 3 albums of all time?
Oh, no.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah. Go on. You know what? This is exactly what we've been talking about. I'm not even joking. What? Judgment of music taste. Anyway, carry on.
Right, well, I'm going to do mine straight at the back. 1975 self-titled.
Yeah.
What an album that is. Honestly, this is all my opinion. There are people that say they are shit, but this is my opinion. That class. It's an amazing album. That I've told you before. It's a work of art. It's the deluxe version I'm talking about here because there's stuff on there that's just class. Then Drake. Don't know. Views or Nothing Was the Same. I'm not sure.
Which one's Nothing Was the Same? Was that after Views or before?
Yeah. No, before. It's the album before. It's the one where he's got like his head in the clouds.
Right. I remember Views coming out.
Yeah, Views is unreal. Let's go Nothing Was the Same. So 1975 self-titled. Drake, Nothing Was the Same. And Kings of Leon, Come Around Sundown. Or Mechanical Bull. And maybe Fall Out Boy.
Fob.
Yeah.
Which album?
First one. Christ, what's it called now? Take This to Your Grave. It's quality.
Very good.
No, I'm going to go Kings of Leon, Mechanical Bull, Drake, Nothing Was the Same, 1975, self-titled.
Excellent.
They're my picks.
Good.
Good question, Elizabeth.
I don't know.
I'm going to do your top 3 films.
I'm going to name a couple because I don't like top 3. It's difficult in it because there's so many, and I tend to just. I'm more of like this is not very purist. More of like a
shit about purist.
More of a like I just listen to single tracks. I don't really listen to albums. But
top 3 songs then.
2 albums that I do love.
Yeah.
One is I'm trying to think of the name of it now. It's Currents by Tame Impala.
Yeah, okay. I don't listen to Tame Impala. I might have to give them a go.
Great album.
Yeah.
And another one. I'm picking these out because they are albums that I can listen to from start to finish.
Yeah, good.
And most of the tracks, or all of them, I like. The other one is Contra by Vampire Weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent band. Divide opinion, but I really like them.
What artist and band doesn't have divide opinion?
Well, that's true.
So there you go.
But there's loads of artists that I like. I open my Spotify just to get some inspiration for this because
films?
My top 3 films. Okay. Top 3 films are. I'm
trying to think of mine now.
See, this is difficult as well.
Oh, God, that's really hard.
I'd probably put. I want a Tarantino film in there. I'm gonna say, would I go Pulp Fiction or Inglourious?
Inglourious is class, isn't it?
Inglourious, probably, yeah. Although I do love Pulp Fiction.
Mr. Le Petit.
Yeah, Monsieur Le Petit.
Monsieur Le Petit.
Yeah. Which part of France is he from?
Northern France.
What else? Fargo.
Never seen it. Is it good?
Love Fargo.
Well, who's that guy in it again?
It's class. Well, it's directed by the Coen brothers. And it's got what's the guy's name now that plays the
what's his name? I know the main
Steve Buscemi's in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the guy's name is who plays the main character.
No, me neither. I know what you're talking about. I can see him in my mind's eye. I can see him. Oh,
but God. The TV series is good as well. Martin Freeman's in the first series. Yeah, he does a very good Minnesota accent.
Oh, does he? Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Cool.
And cool. He's actually spoken about that on a podcast that I listened to recently where he did that accent and people thought, oh, that sounds a bit off. But if you actually listen to the real Minnesota accent, he pretty much nailed it. Because it's got a mixture of like a bit of Norwegian in there because there's a lot of influence from Scandinavia up there. Anyway, complete side note. So yeah, I love that film.
I couldn't name my top 3 out right now, honestly.
You could?
I couldn't now. Schindler's List is number 1, definitely. Yeah. What was the other one I had in my head? It's gone now. Grand Budapest. I don't know if I named the top 3, but that's quality.
Grand Budapest, yeah.
What film?
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Top 3. Would The Grinch count?
Yeah.
Although is that going in separate, it's Christmas films, isn't it?
I suppose it's in its own bracket, but...
It's in its own bracket,
It is class. But yeah, Jim Carrey films. I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey films.
Legend. The
Mask, watched recently, again, nostalgic from childhood. Absolutely brilliant. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that I'd put The Mask or Ace Ventura up there. I don't know about top 3, but definitely top 10.
You've touched on something there, James. Anyone that struggles with fear of judgment, what would you know about Jim Carrey now if he was worried about what people thought of him? No, you wouldn't, would you?
No.
The guy's a complete lunatic. He doesn't give a shit.
Do you know why he does that? Why he is the way he is?
Yeah.
Because from his stand-up days, he said when he really started to do well at stand-up is when he realised that people are just there for a release. And if you're being a complete nutter out there and being, doing these like crazy impressions or jokes or physical comedy or whatever, that's what people want. They want it. They want to see somebody that's not like the boring life that they live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why it's so entertaining to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always use Freddie Mercury as a good example.
Yeah.
When was he started? 70s.
Yeah.
He was a very...
Maybe late 60s, actually.
60s, yeah. He was a very... especially back then, he was different, wasn't he?
Yeah, a time when you probably weren't allowed to express yourself if you were somebody like Freddie Mercury.
And, he'll be known for a long, long time.
Yeah.
That's because he didn't care. If Freddie Mercury cared about what he thought, again, no one would know about Freddie Mercury. He wouldn't be called Freddie Mercury either.
No.
What's his name again?
I can't remember.
What was it now? I can't remember. Email us if you can
I'm
remember.
gonna look it up.
Isn't it Mohammed El Mahood or something?
I'll find out. Farouk Bulsara.
Farouk Bulsara.
Yeah.
God. So, yeah.
From Zanzibar.
What country is Zanzibar now?
Sasquatch. It is...
Madagascar. Mozambique. Come on. Be Mozambique.
Today, part of Kenya, Tanzania and Mozambique. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you were partly right.
So, okay.
Whoever... Elizabeth, who asked that question.
Elizabeth.
I hope that answered it, yeah.
Let's just use up about 10 minutes. That's what happens when you can ask us a question.
Right, so we've got the box. We're going to do the Mountain Joe's thing now.
Here we go.
Right,
okay.
We're rolling. It's time for the giveaway. Should we get these...
yeah, get the prizes out.
Get these out and display them for our viewers.
So we've got protein brownie. Another protein brownie.
Yeah, we've got a... Can you move your glasses, please?
Yeah.
So we've got a protein cake, which is birthday cake flavour. We've got a white chocolate blondie.
A birthday cake.
We've got a peanut brownie.
Yeah.
We've got a granola bar.
Yeah.
And we've got another protein cake, which is carrot cake flavour, which is my favourite one.
What's the retail value of all that, dude?
With our retail prices, I'm not actually sure.
No, not with ours. What are they a box?
At full retail price.
See, this is what happens when I throw things at James and he's not prepared.
Just tapping away on the keyboard here to find it. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. So the cakes are usually $19.99 a case. Let's say 20 quid. So you got 2 cases of them. So
100 quid.
40. Not quite though, because the
100 quid sounds better.
The brownies are also 20, so we're not far off. And the vegan ones, the flapjacks. Yeah, we're looking at around 100.
100, 150, 200?
No, just under 100. Like, I think it's about 95, something like that.
100 quid.
It's worth the best part of 100 quid.
100 quid.
So you talk about being yourself.
£95 worth of retail value. I'm just giving it away because I love shaking this box. It sounds good in my earphones. You can just know like there's something that's withdrawn.
Yeah,
there's something going on.
It's been really good. So we had a question on the last podcast. People answered, and now we're going to draw out.
I'm picking it. I'm going straight in. I'm going to give it a shake. It looks like I'm looking. I forgot people are going to watch this. I'm going for this one.
Here we go.
I have no idea who that is. It is Simon Hill.
Simon Hill. Congratulations. You're the winner. Sorry, I should sound a bit more enthusiastic.
Yeah, congrats, Simon.
Simon Hill. You're the winner, mate.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Simon. Do you want to read him out in the X Factor man's voice?
Simon Hill.
That was really good.
Yeah. So, Simon, thank you.
Was he email or
thank
socials?
You for your entry. Let me just have a look and check that.
I think it was email. Oh, dear me. James has just bashed his leg against the little desk thing that we got set up here.
Yeah, Simon emailed in. So that's absolutely brilliant. I'm chuffed for Simon. Sorry to everybody that entered that didn't win, but we only had one winner on this occasion, I'm afraid. And there'll be more giveaways in future as well. Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled. Sometimes we just do them on social media. Sometimes, like this one, we'll do them on the podcast.
Yeah.
We might have other ones. We might have email ones. We might have other methods of doing giveaways. But yeah, this has been good. It's been good fun to
I enjoyed this.
Give people a little question to answer as well.
Yeah, we'll do it again, definitely. I enjoyed this podcast, James. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good podcast. And yeah, we'll be back soon. So see you next week or in a couple of weeks.
I know what we're talking about next week as well.
What we're talking about?
Social media.
Okay, next time we're talking about social media. So if you're interested in our thoughts on social media, please tune in. And if people have got an opinion on this podcast, what can they do?
what can people do? People can leave us a 5-star review if you like the podcast. Yep. If you think the podcast is absolutely shit and it makes you so annoyed you want to call up 5 Live and scream at somebody, then please email me at paul@foodcirclesupermarket.com. I would really appreciate your feedback.
Imagine if someone called 5 Live about this. They'd be like, what is this person?
I listen to this podcast, it's absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, so don't bother the BBC, because we're nothing to do with them.
Thanks, and can you play the outro music? Because we didn't have outro music last time. You know, the intro music, can we play that at the end?
Okay,
and it just fades out nicely.
Yeah, okay, we'll play outro music this time, and we'll try and include that from now on. So, yeah, thank you for listening, and we're signing off now.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, cue the outro music. Thanks, guys, bye.
Bye.
See you.